Welcome to the Discovery Fear session. Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining us all here today from wherever you are in the world. I know time zones are a hectic thing in today's world, and I understand that sometimes we get things a little bit wrong in terms of what time it is in the other side of the world. But I implore you for joining us on the first day of our how to feel less fear. We'll explore the essence of fear, its effects on personal growth, and why confronting it is important for development. Let's dive in and discuss what fear is. And with that, I have, it's basically a psychology of fear. With that, we've got universal and personal fears. Universal fears are fears that are shared. These fears are shared by most people, such as the fear of death, serious injury, or significant loss. These fears tap into the basic survival instincts in storytelling. The universal fear can also can be used to create situations that are instantly relatable to the audience. So if you're using it in a creativity sense, that's where that goes. Personal fears, these are specific to individuals, often rooted in personal experiences, traumas, and cultural backgrounds. A character's personal fears, such as the fear of abandonment or failure, can add depth to the personality and how they see themselves in the world today. And with that sort of factor being ripe in the world today, with divorces at all-time highs and things like and moments of truths like that, we have to really look hard at how we treat our children and how we treat each other. Anticipation and uncertainty. Humankind is wired to anticipate and prepare for possible threats. With that sentence there, that brings up the old fight or flight methodology, and that comes back to how the cortex, the medullary cortex, actually reacts to threats. When we have arguments, when we have fights, when there's explosions, our body is trained to react to that. So we're always on high alert, and that is not the most optimal state for how we are today. But where we can move forward, embrace that anticipation, almost let it be there, understand it. The role of uncertainty. Fear thrives on uncertainty. Not knowing the full extent of nature of the threat can be more terrifying than facing the fear itself. Now, again, they use that really, really well. Unfortunately, with COVID, the presence of it was enough to force governments to cripple. Almost, they allowed them to take control of how we were moving around the country. Imagination and projection. Our imagination is one of the strongest tools that we have in our body, and it can overproduce things that could happen. And again, we have to learn to understand why that is doing that, and overcome the avenues of which, and calm that nerve down. And again, projecting fear onto others is certainly not how we want to be either. We don't need to be forcing those. Politicians do enough of this. That's what their task. That's what seems to be their task these days, are to actually project fears, insecurities, and anxiety onto the constituents. Vulnerability and helplessness. Feeling vulnerable is not necessarily a bad thing. If you're not in a good mental space, you are allowed to feel this, and it is a valid feeling. And that can come at any time. What we aim to do is transform that vulnerability out of that, and out of feeling helpless, to the understanding of what you can do. Give you the tools, give you the lessons and the knowledge to not feel helpless. Triggering the senses. Now, for some people, the triggering of senses can come from a simple action, from it's part of the fight, flight, or freeze sensory that we have, and there's ways to overcome that fight or flight, that trigger sense, so that you are not reacting dysfunctionally to that part of the trigger, because the response has to be functional to be able to move forward. Now, I seen a post the other day about the fear of death, and it stated the fear of regret can sometimes outweigh the fear of death. Now, if you don't have purpose in your life, and you're not actually looking towards something, then yeah, this could very much play out, that you will regret something at the end of your life that you haven't done because you were too afraid. You let fear ruin that path of what you want to do. So in this course, we're trying to alleviate that fear, give you the tools to move it forward, and allow that to happen. So journaling is an excellent exercise that allows you to understand what is going on in your life. It allows you to put down the fears that are bugging you, allow you to respond to them later. We all have smartphones today. This allows us to jot down on the go, do voice recordings about what's bugging us, what caused the fear, what fear comes up for you, whether that's through feelings in the body, understanding that that's where fear can reflect in our body, through joining us on these webinars as we discuss in real time. Feel free to ask questions, share your insights, engage with participants. I do have homework for everybody tonight. For tonight, I'd like you to list your top 3 personal fears, post it in the group. This will prepare us for a deeper exploration of the coming sessions. Thank you all for the courage and participation today. I really look forward to seeing you at the next webinar and hearing about your insights. So that itself brings us to an end. Thanks for dropping in. Thank you for Naomi being here as well. I appreciate you guys showing up, taking the initiative to understand fear a little bit better. There'll be a full replay in the group to allow you to benefit out of this as well. So look out for that. That'll come up in the next 24 hours. And from there, I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Have a great day, everyone. And thank you for being here.